Hey friends, welcome back to Pastors' Wives Tell All. All month long, we are interviewing some of our close friends, so you can see that as pastors' wives, you can have friends too. Get ready for fun, laughter, maybe some tears along the way, and enjoy these conversations. Let's get to it.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Jenna.
And I'm Stephanie.
And you are listening to Pastors' Wives Tell All,
a podcast by pastors' wives for church leaders and anyone desiring to take a peek inside our glass house.
We are breaking down walls and crushing pastors' wives stereotypes within the church.
We want pastors' wives and other ministry leaders to know that they are not alone in this. Plus, this is basically therapy for the three of us with a whole lot of dance parties. Woo,
Hey friends, welcome back to Pastors' Wives Tell All. Today we have a fourth person with us, and she is a friend.
She is. Hey.
This month, as you probably just heard, we are having friendship conversations. So we are bringing in our real life friends from church and one outside of church to kind of talk about friendship, because that is something we get questions about all the time.
Yes.
So today
Quite often.
we have Jessica's friend, Jenn Adams. Well, she's of our friend now.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But she started out as Jessica's friend and she does attend Jessica's church. So
do.
welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
First question, guys.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun-dun.
Tell all the people how you met.
How did we meet? Oh my.
I really am trying to think of this because I see the first
Okay.
question.
So I think it was when my daughter and her best friend were interested in going to Africa.
Right. That is it.
Yes.
Yes.
There you
And that's
go.
how we started to connect with each other through Katie, interested in the Africa trip. And then it blossomed.
It blossomed like a...
And then
Blossomed.
what happened then?
Nowadays.
And then I kind of attacked you in the parking lot at work.
That was it. It was the attack in the parking lot. That was where our friendship started.
I think so.
That's great. I like
is
attacking.
wonderful.
Now, were you at her church yet at
No,
that point?
not at all.
So what brought you to the church eventually?
So I was having some.
It's okay. We tell all here.
Yeah, you can.
I just really wasn't getting fed where I was spiritually, and I was just I was displaced and trying to figure out where I wanted to be, where my husband and I wanted to be. Our daughter had graduated high school; she was away at college, and I was kind of in the middle of just kind of floating around, lost. And I really didn't think of Jessica as a pastor's wife. I just was more interested in Jessica as a person. And
Oh, I love that.
I like it.
I love her. So I didn't think of her in the pastor wife role. I just, but my employer is also a friend of ours. It was going on a mission trip and was going to take my daughter and her best friend, and we got connected with Jessica, and I was asking her more about Jessica, and I'm like, well, tell me about her, and I kind of learned a little bit about her from the physician that I work for, Dr. Geiser, and she was telling me about her and her husband, and we had another mutual friend that we both knew that was telling me some things about Jess, and so she came into my place of work one day, and I got to thinking about, I really need to talk to her. So I missed her in the office, and I ran out in the parking lot really fast. I was like, wait, don't leave.
She really did this. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I told her, I said, I really want to talk to you, and I want to talk to you about the church, the church that you go to. And I didn't really put together two and two together that Jonathan was the pastor. And I was just asking her about our church because I was in like a place of limbo. Really.
Yeah.
I just really didn't have a home that I felt spiritually comfortable, I guess you would say. So we got to talking, and she invited me to come to Village Church, where Jonathan happened to be the pastor there. So I feel like our friendship had nothing to do with her being a pastor wife. It was I just wanted to know her. I liked what I was seeing and I liked what I was hearing, and I was like, I want to be her friend.
That sounds like a very similar story, Stephanie.
Well, I mean, I didn't attack her in a parking lot, but I kind of attacked her on the phone a little bit.
It's
maybe.
fine. Okay, so when you actually like met her and started having a conversation, like what did you think? Like, I mean, you already said she was pretty cool, but like, you didn't have any questions or anything? I mean, I'm just curious.
Jenna?
Well, I'm a little
kidding.
special myself.
Aren't we all though?
So our energy was just meeting head to head, and it was so similar. And I just really wanted, she was just really easy to talk to, and it wasn't your typical pastor wife, I guess you would say, what you would assume their personalities like.
Should we ask her what would people assume that a pastor's wife is like?
I really don't. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Like reserved.
Okay. We've never heard that before.
Never
ever.
heard that ever. Yeah.
Definitely not Jessica.
I am loud and I am really open, and I don't share much. I mean, I don't.
I was like, that's a lie.
Wait, no, that's a lie.
Yeah.
I don't hold anything back.
That's
okay.
You know, I'm just really all the way out there, and she's the same way.
Yes.
And
She is.
so she was really easy to talk to. She was just, I just felt really comfortable because I have a history of in recovery, and I got to talking about some of that stuff, and I just really wasn't timid about it at all. We just kind of opened up, and we started talking, and we started talking about Jesus, and you know what that meant to me and what that meant to her, and I was just absorbing everything, and we had a couple of lunches together. She invited me to come to church. I was like, okay, all right. And then it was like God was just really stirring things within me for a change. I had gone to a community spiritual walk kind of thing that we have in our area, and it was a lot of doors that Jesus was opening up for me through that, and through different people, and it was all lining up. You know, our friend Christy was in the middle of this too, and I've known Christy for years, and she knew Jessica, and it was just, I don't know, weird how things were just lining up, and I was not feeling comfortable where I was. I was looking at, God was just stirring stuff, and He was really wanting more out of me, you know, and
I think that was it. Was you were stagnant, and not complacent. You were stagnant where you were, not like spiritually, but you were just
like I was on fire.
You
on the
wanted
inside.
more. You wanted more.
You just wanted more, and you needed it. And like it was like Jesus started to put all of these relationships that all connected to Village Church, and then wrapped it in a bow.
I love that, guys. So did you feel like you could trust her almost instantaneously? Did that take a while? How'd you feel?
I felt like I knew her all my life.
Yeah.
It was so
Oh my
comfortable.
gosh, same.
I mean, you know, I feel like God puts people in our lives that are for a certain season, and you know, that understand you, and that have, if they haven't walked your walk, they have walked with others that have walked the same walk, and whether it be family or friends or what have you. But Jessica was just immediately trusted her. Immediately, I could just
Throw it all out there.
verbally vomit everything, and it was okay. And she wasn't going to judge me, and she was going to keep my, what's the word I'm looking for? She's going to
Keep your
keep my secrets if I wanted her to, and I really didn't care if she did, but I knew she would. And it was just instantaneous friendship.
Yeah. Well, and you made it very easy. I mean, that's one of the reasons we're having some of our friends, especially from our churches, is because you made it easy. This is for people that are not in on staff roles or ministry roles. Like when you're just in the church and you see a pastor wife, Jen and I met before she was part of the church, but she could have changed when she started coming to the church and going like, how close do I want to get? Like, man, I've already told her a whole lot. Like, I hope I haven't told her too much and she's going to judge me for it. You know, there could be those things, but you also made it very easy. And I trusted you. And like you're talking about, that connection was real. You know, you just, you know, when the Holy Spirit moves and like puts people together. And I feel like he did that with us in the parking lot that day. But then to see now, like everything that's come from it, it's just so cool, you know, to happen. So I also appreciate you letting me in, especially once you were at the church, to continue to let me in, because I always say that I believe that people that have been through a Celebrate Recovery or AA or things like that, they just don't judge people, you know? And I think that's why I love our church so much, is because we have so many in recovery at our church, that it does make it easier to be yourself.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, I can see
because
that.
there's not a lot of perfect people walking around. They already know, and they already have to let out their sins and their life before people that they're recovering with. And so I believe that they make it so much easier for us to feel comfortable and to be ourselves, because that's bringing things to the light. Even if it wasn't with me, she's done that. She's brought her things to the light. And so she therefore just brings things to the light. And I feel like I can do the same. So
Yeah. So we talk a lot about on the podcast how there's a lot of ministry leaders and who feel like they can't have friendships, right? So we already know that you felt immediately comfortable with Jessica. You felt like you could trust her. But have you seen people come in, like new people at the church, and have you seen them kind of have a certain like view of Jessica and Jonathan? Like, oh, I don't want to bother her. Or like, have you seen a lot of that?
Yes.
Or feeling like they
I
can't
do
reach
see
out
that.
to her? Like,
I do
for
see
friendship.
it sometimes.
Yeah.
Not often, but it's more like they're treated like, well, that's the teacher, or that, you know, that's
Right.
the pastor and his wife. And I don't want to, like you said, they don't want to bother them. You don't want to inconvenience them, or
Maybe can't be themselves around them or something like that.
yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. I don't want what's okay
Right.
to say, what's not okay. You know, or
Yeah.
it's like, can they be congruent of what they're like outside the church and what they're like inside the church?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's what God wants the most, is for us to trust each other and have community with each other, and be congruent on the street and in church. And I mean, what you see with me and is what you get in, out. It's all out there. You know, I'm crazy in church. I'm crazy at home. I'm crazy everywhere.
Yeah.
And Jessica is too.
They know.
It's a true story.
True story.
Yes.
And we're comfortable with each other like that. And it's just it. And I hate that people see it like that, because they're missing out on an awesome part of her.
yeah.
You know?
Well, that leads me to another question. So, okay, what would you say to these church people who are coming in and viewing a pastor's wife like that? And why do you think Jessica's different? That she only has a few people like that versus most are comfortable with her. What do you think makes her different than others? And share a little bit about that.
What makes her different? Everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, her personality, it's just like your neighbor. I don't know how to describe it. She's just like the girl next door. She's easy to talk to. She's approachable. I wish people would see that and know that about her, that she's not just a pastor's wife, and you need to respect her time, of course, you know, but you know, treat her like a person too. You know, she's got her faults and she's got her, you know, her hurts and her hang-ups and her habits, as we say in Celebrate Recovery. You know, she's just like you. And I'm lost for words.
She's at a loss for words because you're just so amazing.
That's right.
You're so easy to
So
approach. You're so
wonderful.
approachable.
So approachable.
She's
I mean,
peach.
you're just my buddy, you know? I mean, we can fart together and laugh
so true.
together.
I'm
Here for it.
here for all of it.
I'm
Especially
sure
in Africa.
I'm sure you've gotten
Yes,
some butt
Africa.
smackings.
I've got,
yes.
look, my booty has got a handprint Jessica on there, tattooed right there.
There you go. There you go.
Same.
Well, I think
So
that's
true.
I think for church, just, you know, our church, everyone in America church, like, I think pastors' wives have to know they do have to be approachable. Now, it is hard. So let's kind of take this another way. It is hard because Jenn knows me outside of church
Right.
and then came into the church.
Right.
Now, we weren't super close before she came into the church, but we were building a relationship, and that connection was like expedited and very quick. But like, how do the church people that are looking at me or looking at us, like, how do we let them know that we are just normal people? Because if they don't see us outside of a Sunday, okay, this is the hard question, is they don't see us outside of a Sunday. And think about all the people I'm talking to on a Sunday morning that are waiting for me, that are grabbing me, or that I'm going to do this or going to do that. How do they have grace upon grace for us when we can't, stare in their eyes and have communication with them to make them feel comfortable? And how can, a pastor wife either let go of that and know that she can't talk and make everyone happy, or get better at that?
I think you need to let go of it.
Yeah.
I do. Because you're one person, and there's only a couple hours on that, couple of 2-3 hours that day that you can do all the things and have time for everybody. And, but they just need to reach out past that.
Yes.
I mean, you're not just there in the church. Be comfortable to reach out. Hey, send her a text or, just, hey, you got a minute? I mean, I don't know how to really.
Or even just an encouraging text. Hey, thinking about you this week, or praying for you as you, go to Africa this week, or just, anything
But
really.
It's not just about church members' needs. You need to remember Jessica's needs, and to remember that she's a person. She's a person that has problems, and she has feelings, and take time to remember that. And like you said, encourage. Send a sweet text, just a quick note. I don't know, just slip her a Post-it in her hand. She'll read it when she gets home. I mean, just little things. But just remember that she's more than just a pastor's wife.
Right.
She's a mama. She's a wife. She's a friend. But respect that.
Yeah.
Just like you would any other friend. It's not all about us.
Right. Yeah.
That's good.
That's very good. So now that y'all are friends, y'all are past the awkward stage. And you're like jabbing with each other. So how do y'all make your friendship work outside of the craziness of life? You have a full-time job. Jessica has many ministries that she is a part of, and just is saving the world basically. So how do y'all make your friendship work?
So I'd say about once a month we plan lunch.
Yeah.
I wish we could do it more. I wish, we need to do dinners more, things like that. But at least once a month we have lunch and we check in.
Yeah.
We check in. I try. We have like an hour and a half, and it's really fast. And it's like, okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, all right, that's enough about me. Now what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I didn't want you to react. I was trying to keep you going. Sorry. I was just trying to not hear this. I wanted to hear you.
We really it's a check-in.
Yeah.
It really is a check-in. How are you doing? What's going on? What do we need to pray for?
Yeah.
I wish it was much longer. Both of us are really busy, but we make it work.
Yeah.
We make sure we're okay. And phone calls and texts.
Yeah,
and,
phone calls and texts. And then, because it's usually like random phone calls.
Yeah.
When something's needed. But we
If
also
I have a silly thought or,
something crazy. And Sundays, I mean,
I try to stay out of the way on Sundays as much as I
I know
possibly
you
can.
do. Yeah. But I try to at least give her a hug. How you doing?
Yeah.
That. But I try to stay away from my friend, like my closer friends,
Right.
because they know, they're not gonna judge me or wonder why I didn't talk to them or
Right,
stuff,
exactly.
Yeah.
So
That's because they're real friends and they
right.
know that you're not ignoring them. Like they know that.
I'm not that needy. I'm not that important.
Yeah. One of us will grab each other on a Sunday morning, and if we have time. But then also we get to be in ministry together.
Yes.
In a couple of different ways through Do Good, which is through our nonprofit Come Away. She runs my markets and does a fantabulous job.
You do.
And then also she comes on mission trips, and so we get to do that together. And then we're on women's ministry team together. So, you know, a lot of the things, the decorating and all that. We have so
Let's
much
just
fun.
talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
'Cause
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
this
it's
girl
so
right
much
here. So Jenn is the one who actually decorated for our book launch party.
Yes.
And it was beautiful. You did an
It
incredible
was.
job.
Thank you.
It was
Yes.
so warm and welcoming.
dreamy.
It was
It was
amazing.
It's just fun.
It was
perfection.
I
beautiful.
love to do it.
And so like when we get to do that at the church, we do that together. So it's usually just
Yeah.
her and I. So we have we're tired, we're whiny, and then we're laughing because we're hilarious. And then we have fun and have deep talk as well. It's a little
Yeah.
mixture.
I love it.
So we
That's
keep it
awesome.
going. We keep it going.
It's
So,
funny how our brains work. Our brains work just alike.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
our tastes are alike. So it all just
It works
it
together.
grooves
I
really
like
well.
it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's groovy.
It's amazing. Jen, you're the best.
She is the
We
best.
love you.
Aren't
I
you the
love you
best, Jen?
guys. I am the best.
Yeah.
You are. You are. Hey, we all went to Africa together.
We did.
Oh, that was so the best.
It was.
It was so much fun.
It was.
It was really fun.
It was. If only Stephanie was
If
there
only-
for it.
Bless her heart. She was there with us in spirit.
She was laying on the safari.
She was physically
Oh,
there.
that
Her
physically
body
there, but
was there, but there was not much
I had a
there.
few days
There-
that
you
were
did.
rough.
Yeah, you had a few good days too, though.
I had good days too, but yeah, I need a redo.
Verdun.
I'm gonna redo that.
Oh, yeah.
At some point here.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yes.
So normally we have like pastor wifeys on or pastors, and so we have these 3 final questions, but we have changed them up a bit just for you.
And they're rapid fire.
Oh no.
Yes.
Yes.
You don't have to think too much. Just, say what comes to mind.
That's right.
So, first one. If you could go back and give your younger self one piece of friendship advice, what would it be?
Learn to listen. Be a good listener. That's one of the biggest things. I have a problem that I'm trying to finish your sentences before you finish your sentences. I'm just really hyper, and I have to reel myself back in and just slow down and listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've gotten better at it, I guess. And I really like to talk with my hands, and they don't like me to talk with my hands in here. I think I need to sit them under me.
Listen, I've done it too. I'm like talking and I'm
okay.
like, bam, bam,
okay.
bang.
I haven't knocked
I'm always
anything off yet.
touching Stephanie going, don't touch them.
It's fine.
I'm clumsy too, so I'm liable to
I
clear
think
the table.
listening is a great one. Like that's something that all of us
I've had to be working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're able to be honest with each other. And we learn from each other and learn and tell each other, hey,
Yeah.
let's work on that. Let's do
I
better.
really, really respect Jessica's
Listening skills.
constructive criticism.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I really do, because I know she's going to be honest. I try not to wear my feelings on my shoulder. I need her to be honest. I need her to reel me in, because I can get off the chain pretty quick. And it's just that personality. But I really appreciate her honesty.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good. Question number 2. Are you ready? What do you like to do with Jessica for fun?
Tell them where we go.
Yeah, we always go to Panera and Wasabi. We go to
Wasabi.
Wasabi. We love sushi.
Some
Yes.
sushi.
Sushi is the best.
From wasabi.
That's our favorite. Yeah,
That laugh gotta
wasabi
go.
for sure.
Yes, we like to go to Wasabi
Yeah.
and eat lunch.
Yeah.
That's
And decorate together.
yeah, that's really a
and
fun thing.
ministry together.
Yeah.
I would say that.
I mean, I love being in Africa.
Yeah.
With Jessica and Jenna.
Well, who
and
doesn't?
Stephanie. I mean, it's amazing. It is so fun, and I mean, we're there for a purpose, and it's a wonderful, busy couple of weeks just doing ministry together. But it's so fun just to be with each other at night, to be debrief and be silly and just enjoy each other when we
Yeah.
don't get to do that when we're home.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
the mundane and the day to day, we don't get that time together. So it is so fun
So fun.
to have like spend the night parties in Africa.
Yeah. Moral of the
so
story
true.
is come to Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, Jen, last question. What would you say to someone that is in a season of loneliness and is missing those friendships in their lives?
You've got to step out. In some cases, you have to step out of your comfort zone. You have to do things that aren't not what you normally would do.
Like run out into the parking lot of your
yeah.
workplace.
You
And,
got to
Yeah. Just jump on people.
just kind of just do it.
yeah. I like it.
I like it. It works
If
for
you
you.
don't, if you don't, you may not have the opportunity again. No, you just really have to step outside of that comfort zone, because it's really easy for some of us just to sit back and wait for us people to approach us, and that perfect timing. Well, you may not get that like that again. So you got to step out of what's your norm and approach people. Don't always make the choice just to sit back and miss out, because you could be a part of something so wonderful. So
That's good.
like it.
I like
step
it.
out there in the street.
Step out there.
Well, and all the pastor wives out there are going, please step out there, because on a Sunday morning, a lot of pastors' wives are pulled everywhere.
Yeah.
And their attention is on 40 different things. And so please step out. Please ask. I was going to say, while you were talking earlier, we have a sweet friend of ours, Deja. She is newer in our church, past couple of years. But like recently, she's just so precious. But recently, she has started to she called me on my birthday yesterday. It was precious. And,
I love her.
and I'm not going to lie, the first reaction when I saw her phone call is I was like, oh gosh, I hope everything's okay. I hope Stephen's okay. I hope, that must be why she's calling. But she called just to see what I was doing for my birthday and wish me happy birthday.
That was really sweet.
That does not happen from most anyone at my church.
Yeah.
And then she's brought food for Jonathan when we were, sick, and she's asked us stuff. And so it's she's just taking that initiative. And so I think that I think in general, if you take initiative in friendships, you will get that in return.
Exactly.
I think a lot of times people are not finding what they're looking for because they're not willing to
Or
give.
they're given to the wrong people and it's toxic, and then they get hurt, and then they never want to try again.
Right, exactly.
But there's good people out there
But
too.
there's
There
good
is.
people. You
There
just
is.
got to keep going.
Yeah.
It's like that whack-a-mole.
Keep on
One of them
keeping
will
on.
get it.
Yeah.
Whack-a-mole.
Whack that mole until you find the right mole.
You got to find the right mole.
Well, took a turn.
Y'all go whack-a-mole, and we'll be back next week.
We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, friends, if you have enjoyed this episode as much as we have, please help us spread the word on Facebook and Instagram.
If you didn't know yet, Instagram is where all the fun is at. From dance reels on Wednesdays to spiritual encouragement and laugh out loud posts in between, there is something for everyone.
And last but certainly not least, if you could take a moment right now to stop what you're doing and give us a rating and review, even subscribe to our podcast, this seriously helps other people find us who wouldn't be able to otherwise. Thank you so much for your love and support. We hope you'll tune in next week.